Introducing Nuclias Connect. Great to have you on board. So, Nuclias, so here's just a quick agenda as to what we'll be going through today. So, quick introduction to the Nuclias Connect product, a very brief overview of D-Link's wireless range and where Nuclias Connect happens to fit into that. Looking at some of the different options you have in terms of deploying the Nuclias Connect management tools. I think the most important part of today's presentation is going to be getting a little bit hands-on. Of course, Ilya will be running us through a live demonstration as to how this product is able to be used and to be deployed. And then there's a what next. A few of the different options in terms of D-Link's partner program for those of you who are IT resellers that are on board for the webinar today, and some different training options as well. And as I mentioned earlier, the NFR offer that we'll have available as well. We'll then also go through all of your questions and answers. So please keep those coming throughout this morning's presentation as well. So let's get started. So Nuclias Connect is a cost-effective way to be able to centrally manage D-Link's range of DAP series of access points. There's a few different ways, there's a few different options in terms of managing that, which we'll come to in a little bit. Effectively, there's a software-based controller which is used to manage all of these devices with an option of a hardware controller as well. It is something that you can go and self-install either locally or it can also be put out into a private cloud solution as well, where you could have that operating in a server from your office or deployed somewhere in whether it be Amazon or Azure or something like that. There is a limit in terms of the amount of devices that Nuclias Connect is able to manage, which is up to 1,000 devices. As you'd come to expect from the D-Link range of product, there's a really intuitive and a user-friendly interface, which Ilya will take us through a little bit later on. One thing that's certainly a lot of our resellers and partners that we work with, many of which are MSPs, have been looking for in any product that they're looking to deploy, is something which is able to be deployed with a multi-tenancy, so a multi-tenancy architecture. And of course, we've included this into the Nuclias Connect product. Of course, security is very important for everybody, and so there's full SSL security, which is across all communications between the Nuclias APs and any management tool, any management software that is in there. Real-time analytics and reporting is available. Of course, you want to know and understand what's going on your network at any given time. And maintenance is able to be automated in terms of firmware and software upgrades getting pushed out to connected devices, which are just access points at this minute. So in D-Link's range of wireless access points, there's a number of different products in there, and I'm sure many of you here today would be familiar with those. So we've got access points. In fact, all of our access points, excluding the Nuclias Cloud range of access points, are all able to be managed individually. Whether that's our DAP series of access points, D-Link access points, which all apply to the Nuclias Connect range of products, or our unified wireless access points, the DWL series of products. They're of course able to be managed as individual access points only, just connecting to the web GUI via the IP address of each of those devices. We've then got our Nuclias Connect option, which all of our DAP series of standalone access points are compatible with. We'll come down to, we'll take a look at in just a moment in terms of the way in which they're all able to be managed. We've then got our newly released or recently released Nuclias Cloud range of access points. So the DBA series of access points. All of the DBA access points are only compatible with Nuclias Cloud, and they cannot be managed in a standalone fashion. We did a webinar on Nuclias Cloud about 5 weeks ago. You'll be able to find that on YouTube. or of course, you'll be able to speak to your D-Link account manager if you're interested in learning anything more about the Nuclias Cloud range of access points, which is ideally targeted at managed service providers. A little bit more on the differences between Nuclias Connect and Nuclias Cloud. We'll have a little bit more on that a bit later on. We've also got the DWL series of access points, which are able to be managed by a hardware controller, giving you central management. So a product like the DWC 1000 or the DWC 2000. Many of you would have had experience in deploying access points with these hardware controllers as well. Great for larger networks of 10 or more access points, going up to very large numbers, and there's some great flexibility and management options that you get with using a Wi-Fi controller. So we spoke a little bit about Nuclias Cloud and Nuclias Connect. So what are the differences between these two products? With Nuclias Cloud, the fully hosted solution by D-Link. For you as a reseller or as a customer, you don't need to do anything. You just need to acquire the hardware. There is a monthly subscription fee for any devices that are connected to that. So it's almost really a set and forget solution in terms of anything you need to do in terms of setting up or hosting infrastructure. Nuclias Connect, on the other hand, is an in-house hosted solution. So who's that suitable for? Who's that going to be best for? So certainly for people that have got in-house IT resources, have got in-house skills, and have got some experience in going and setting up software, some experience in setting up some software if you wanted to host it in a private cloud environment, then a Nuclias Connect may well be a solution that you may well be interested in. Certainly for end customers, if you're looking at somebody else at wanting to manage your network, then Nuclias Cloud, in conjunction with a managed service provider, and there's many managed service providers across Australia and New Zealand that are Nuclias Cloud partners today, then that may well be something that might be of interest to you for somebody else to go and manage your network infrastructure. There's certainly some other benefits to Nuclias Cloud as well with zero-touch deployment. Nuclias Connect, you do get the ability to centrally manage all of your D-Link access points as well. So how do I go about deploying Nuclias Connect? What do I need to have to be able to do this? Well, if I've got a single access point that I'm wanting to deploy, then I can use the Nuclias Connect app. That's something that can be found in both the App Store and the Play Store, so compatible with both with Android and with Apple devices. Free to download. Really simple way of going to be able to set up one of the compatible D-Link access points, the DAP series of product, using Nuclias Connect. I can also use that app when I'm in conjunction with a Nuclias Connect server or with the Nuclias Connect hub. The Nuclias Connect software is free to download, available at dlink.com.au or dlink.co.nz. And of course, that requires a PC or a server to go and install that on, and that would be a permanent installation for those devices. And we've now just added into our range the Nuclias Connect hub. This performs a very similar task as the software that you would install on a machine locally, of course, without the need for a dedicated server. There is a limit on the Nuclias Connect hub of having a maximum a number of connected devices to that. The maximum of 100 devices, which you're able to connect to the Nuclias Connect hub. With the Nuclias Connect software, as I mentioned before, that is able to manage up to 1,000 devices connected to the Nuclias Connect software. So here's our current range of product, which is suitable for the Nuclias Connect app and Nuclias Connect software and hub. The DAP 2610, which is a very popular product of ours, a Wave 2 access point. We've got a newly released wall plate access point, the DAP 2620. You can see that pictured in the middle, there of those 3 access points. With the DAP 2680, which is again a Wave 2 access point, which can also act as a repeater or a wireless bridge as well. And we've then got our newly released DAP 3666, a outdoor access point, which can be used in both standalone mode, so to connect clients to it. It can also be used for wireless bridging as well, ideally for point-to-point wireless links of no more than 1 kilometre in length. If you've got questions about that, please feel free to ask those questions of your local pre-sales engineer or any of your D-Link account manager, and those details will be up a little bit later on in today's presentation. One great thing about Nuclias Connect is that it will also support some older legacy models as well. The DAP 2660, which is a Wave 1 access point. The DAP 2695, I'm sure many of you would remember that device, a grey access point with some big antennas hanging off that, and the DAP 3662. That was our previous outdoor access point. So we've got a great range of products that are supported on that today, and also some legacy models as well. So if you have a site that's got some of those older access points, then Nuclias Connect may well be an option, may well be of interest to you as a reseller or to you as a customer in going installing in a different way to go and manage your D-Link access points. I'd now like to hand over to my colleague, to Ilya, who's going to give us a live demonstration of the Nuclias Connect software and also the app. Ilya, over to you.
Thank you, Phil. So what I wanted to show you today is how easy it is to deploy, monitor, and manage your network devices with Nuclias Connect, and also give you a brief overview of what the solution offers in terms of configuration and reporting. As Phil mentioned, there is an app which you could use to configure your devices, and there's also software and a hub which runs that software in it. So we have all these options to configure. So let me start with showing you the demo of the Nuclias Connect app. So this app can be used in 2 ways. First is to deploy devices as standalone without the centralized management. Say, if, for example, you do not want to use the Nuclias Connect server or the hub on your network, so you can just deploy the access points using that app. And second way to use it, and probably the most beneficial way, is to configure, monitor, and manage devices when you have the Nuclias Connect solution installed on your network, either with the software or having a hub deployed on your network. So first you will see how to configure access points in standalone mode using that app, and then you will see how it works when you have the Nuclias Connect server. So let me just share the screen with you, and you should be able to see the app now. So this is a pre-recorded from a phone, and there is some narration, so you should be able to hear all the information. Here I'm using the Android version of the app, but the iOS version would look exactly the same. Now let's launch the Nuclias Connect app. We're going to set up an access point in standalone mode, so let's tap on the standalone option. And now let's create a new configuration profile for our access point. Tap on Configure Profiles. Now tap on the plus to add a new profile. Give this profile a name, change the settings the way we want them to be, Wi-Fi name or SSID name, security for both radios, and so on. Then save the profile. Now our profile is ready, we can tap on Discover. Here we see an access point being discovered. Now what we need to do is to select the access point. We will be prompted to enter username and password to access it. The default username is admin and password is admin. Then we choose what configuration profile we want to apply. Tick the Office Wi-Fi that we created earlier, and then tap Push. The profile will be pushed to the device or multiple devices if you selected several. You can tap on the device and check its status, current settings, connected clients, and so on. As you can see, it's a very straightforward process, and it's a quick and easy way to configure devices using the Nuclias Connect app. To remind you, this type of setup, standalone, is the simplest option when you do not want to run the Nuclias Connect server with either software or an appliance. You also have an option to log in into each device individually using a web browser and configure them this way. But when you want centralized management, monitoring and reporting, you need to install the Nuclias Connect software or set up a Nuclias Connect hub and have access to all the benefits of this solution. Let's launch the app and let's tap on Quick Setup. Step 1. Select the configuration profile that you want to use, or provision file. Step 2. Discovering the devices. Once the devices are found, tap the ones you want to configure. In our example, it's both. And all is left is to tap on Push Provision Profile. You'll be prompted to enter the username and password that these devices currently have. If they're out of the box, that would be admin. And then you will see the confirmation that the configuration has been applied. Now, if you tap on Nuclias Connect, you will see your server status and how many devices are online, how many clients are connected, network statistics, and so on. As you can see, a very straightforward process, quick and easy way to install and configure devices on a network. So that was the app itself. Now let me show you the Nuclias Connect software, how it looks like. So this is the dashboard. When you first start your Nuclias Connect for the first time, you'll be greeted by the setup wizard, which is a very simple way to deploy your Nuclias Connect server and also to configure your access point. So all you need to do is here to specify your IP address that you want to use for your server, your time zone. Then you can create a new site if you want to use or existing site, for example, and create a new network. And all what is left now is just to configure or put your settings here, or what you want to use on your wireless network, what encryption, what type of SSID or Wi-Fi name, and then all is left to do for the Nuclias Connect server to discover your access points, and it will push configuration to those access points. So you'll be up and running literally in a minute or two. So once your access points are configured, or if you already have profiles set up like we have here, you can also add your new devices, so you don't have to run the wizard every time. You can just add the devices to your existing profile, and it is done also very easily. So you click on Discover. So you have an option here to search for your devices on local network using Layer 2 discovery, or if you have, say, remote networks connecting through VPN, or if your network is divided into different IP subnets, you can use Layer 3 discovery as well. And it is very easy since we already have them discovered. So I'll just select Manage, start discovery, and you will see that it will discover the access points on your network. And all you need to do now is to select them and then click on Apply, and the configuration profile will be pushed to these access points. Now, when you log into your Nuclias Connect portal, you see this dashboard, and it gives you a great overview of all your networks. So you can see how many devices, how many access points are online, how many are offline, how many clients are connected. And it also gives you these graphs, this information about the status of your network. And these graphs are great. And what's great about them, that they not only show you the current situation with your network, for example, how many clients are connected and how much traffic is traveling, but also overlays information from historical recording, so from the past 7 days. And it shows you the average values and also high values. So if something is wrong with your network, or you're troubleshooting an issue, or you're seeing something is not working as it should, you can always have a look at these graphs, and you can figure out what exactly is different from what it was, say, before. So great for troubleshooting. So here we see how many clients were connected, how many clients are connected now. There's also traffic usage, and there's traffic breakdown by uplink, upload, and download. And there's also which particular SSID is the most active. So you will see all this information. On top of that, you see information on what channels are being used or how many access points are using what frequencies. Again, great with troubleshooting if you've got interference issues and your performance suffers. You can always find out which channel to use better. But the access points themselves actually have, or with the Nuclias Connect solution, they have an option to select the correct channel automatically. So I'll show it to you later. And of course, you've got all the last events here. Now, there's on top here, you see shortcuts, which will take you and show you what networks you've got here configured, how many clients are connected on each network, how many devices are online, how many are offline. And it gives you an option here to change any settings in your profile. You can also copy the profile to other networks if you want to. So for example, you can set up just one profile that you want to use as a template and then copy it across multiple sites. And that will definitely save you some time. And you can export the profile into a file, which you can then upload into an access point. If, for example, you're deploying access points on the remote site, you've got your Nuclias Connect server here. All you need to do is just put these profiles into those access points and shoot them across. And all it's needed to do on the other on that remote site is just connect them to the internet, and they will automatically connect to your Nuclias Connect server through the internet, or providing you have that communication port open. So as Phil mentioned, all the communications are secure with SSL. Right, so you also have a shortcut here to look at your access points. Again, how many are online, how many are offline, some statistics here. You can see the IP addresses, what channels they're running on, how many clients are connected. And from here, you have an option to reboot the access point, and you also have an option even to log into the access point and see the settings of that individual IP. So you will see how much traffic it is getting, so how much upload, download has been happening, what is memory usage, what is CPU usage, and what's the power it is set to, and some information about traffic and client info. So in the client section, so again, there's a shortcut here to have a look at the clients. You see your clients who are connected. You can see what their signal strengths are, so that's also quite handy when you're doing troubleshooting, and how much traffic they're putting through. So you also have an option here to block the client if needed, if, for example, you detected there is some excessive network usage. So apart from seeing the current situation with your network on your dashboard, you also have access to reports. So let me show you some of the reports here. So one of them is peak network activity. It is quite handy. It shows you information, obviously, what's happening now, and also what has been happening in the past 7 days. And each day is represented with a different color. So this is a number of clients, how many clients have been connected to your access points. You can hover over, you can see what exactly the value is, and you will see why these days is different from the other. And it breaks it down by the time slot, so you can see when your network is getting the busiest. And same applies to your traffic, so it shows you how much traffic has been traveling through that access point. And again, you see different days here represented with different colors, and if anything outstanding, you can straight away see it. So it's really good for troubleshooting and seeing exactly what is happening with the network. Another handy report is most active IP. It actually, you can upload your office plan and locate your access points, position your access points on that plan, and it will tell you which access points are most busiest, how many clients they got connected, and you can hover over and see all that information. So it is quite handy also for remote troubleshooting, so you know where this access point is located. And you can select different dates and see the statistics or the information from previous days as well. Another report is hourly network activity. Again, it is also quite handy, and again, it shows you the information about, say, today's traffic, and also information about the 7 days before. You can filter it out by different sites if you want to, and different networks, and of course the date as well, and you will see all this information about the traffic on your network. And another report which combines the traffic activity and also number of clients, overlays them together, and it shows you how your network will be performing across those days. So it has some historical data, and you can export all your reports into a PDF file if you need to archive them, for example, and have a look at them later, or email them to your customer. And as with any system, you also have access to all your logs, where you can see all your SNMP traps, for example, your syslog messages, your system events in the systems. You can see quite detailed logs, and allows you to filter out and let's say by day or by type of event that you're looking for. Right. So this is in a nutshell what the reports are offering you. Now, what I wanted to show you as well is what configuration options you get with your Nuclias Connect. So through the wizard, you've seen it's very, very simple, allows you to deploy access points literally in a minute or two. But if you want to tinker with the settings, or if you want to have access to more advanced settings, you can obviously do that here. So if you look at the one of the profiles here, so there's SSID configuration. You have access to all the normal options that you have here, what type of security you want to run, what's the name of your SSID, etc., etc. You can enable all these features in here. And you also have access to more advanced features such as access control, where you can set up different filters to allow or block people. And you also have user authentication. So that's particularly useful for those who deploy the access points for public use, or combination of public use and your own office use. So that allows you to set up different options here. So you can enable web redirection, where anyone who connects to your Wi-Fi or to a specific SSID on your Wi-Fi will be redirected to a specific website. So, for example, if it's a cafe, so there will be a web page with their daily specials, etc., etc. If it's a business, there will be business's homepage. You can use username and password. You can use radius, etc. All authentication. There's also an option here to use external captive portal. So if you're running a captive portal where you capture customer details, you can do that as well. Or you can use your own captive portal, which Nuclias Connect actually offers. So passcode is probably the most common way to deploy a public network, where you would customers would want to enter a passcode. So if you purchase something, or if they're if they're your visitors and visiting your hotel, the reception, they can get a passcode and access the internet this way. So if you look at some of the settings here, so obviously the passcodes you can create on your own. You also have an option to create a user, which I'll show you as well, front desk staff who can generate those passcodes and print them out and give them to customers. So again, you have an option here for web redirection if you want to, and you have an option here to use a splash page, and you can customize it as well. So there's several templates already here, the ones which using PayPal, for example, for payments. You can, of course, there's a preview of one of the splash pages. You can, of course, edit that and upload your own splash page if you need to. And here we also see Hotspot 2.0 option. So that's one of the recent developments, and all the latest operating systems on phones and laptops support that. So that's one of the ways that you can access a publicly available network and still stay secure. So simplifies connectivity quite a lot and still offers security. Of course, you have options here to set up VLANs for different SSIDs. You also have an option here for bandwidth optimization, which is again quite handy. You can, for example, specify what your bandwidth limits are for uplink and downlink, and you can set the system to allocate average bandwidth for each station, or allocate specific bandwidth for a specific SSID. So it is quite handy, not only when you're offering a public use, but even inside the office. So one workstation doesn't hug all the bandwidth, so you can do it this way. With the RFs optimization, so as I mentioned earlier, you can set your access points to automatically readjust their Wi-Fi channel to avoid interference, and they can also adjust power. So that's what it's called self-recovery. If one self-healing, if one access point goes down, the other access point will increase its power to cover the area. And if you're running an access point or Wi-Fi for public use, sometimes you don't want to broadcast your Wi-Fi if the office is closed, for example, or if the cafe or restaurant is no longer operating. So you can set up a specific time when your SSID or your guest SSID is operating. So that's another handy feature. Of course, you have access to all the advanced features in your Wi-Fi configuration, how to handle multicast, etc., etc. So that's something that we give access to. And for public, again, Wi-Fi, you have here an option to partition your WLAN or your Wi-Fi. So when your guests are connecting, so they cannot communicate with each other, so they all communicating separately from other guests. And you also have an option here to enable guest mode, where you only allow guests to communicate with the internet, but not with any of the resources on local network. Another handy feature I wanted to point out is link integrity. So what it does, it detects if you lost your LAN connection or internet connection, for example, and if that happens, your access point will not allow Wi-Fi users to connect to Wi-Fi. So forcing, if you're on mobile phone, you would have to use 4G. Otherwise, if you don't have that enabled and your internet connection is down or LAN connection is down, your Wi-Fi devices would connect to Wi-Fi, but they won't be able to get anywhere. So that's a handy feature. And some other ways to improve your wireless performance. So under wireless resources, so you have aging out, which is forced roaming, where you can specify the thresholds when the clients would be forced to roam to a neighboring access point. So normally it happens automatically, but with some clients, legacy clients, they're not that good with roaming. That's why if you enable forced roaming, you can still handle those clients properly.
In particular, you can always ones, right, Ilya?
Sorry?
In particular, Apple devices, right?
Yes, yes. Unfortunately, yes, Apple devices, they're trying to hang on to an access point, even if there is a perfectly good access point right next to them, but they will hang on to the one which is further away and having, still have really low signal, but wouldn't jump onto the new one. So forced roaming definitely helps with that. And there's also airtime fairness, which allows you to again offer bandwidth to all your clients properly, and band steering, where you can push your clients to 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi if they support it. So a lot of features as you can see here. But another thing that I wanted to show you, and I mentioned that earlier, is the user management and the fact that the system supports, or the solution supports multi-tenancy. So you can create several accounts or several networks, and you can add users to your system, and you can limit your users to specific sites only. So if you look at this example here, here in North Ryde, we only have a John Citizen who can access and admin the network, but at the same time, John Citizen cannot touch anything in Brisbane, for example. So, and they will he will not be able to see any of the access points there. So you can have multiple people using your server and managing multiple sites. And another option that you see here is a front desk staff. So that's the account that you can use to generate passcodes. So I wanted to show you how that looks like. Give me a second. I'll just share another screen here. So this is for example. So we log in as front desk staff. As you can see, quite a simple interface. So normally it's a receptionist at the front desk, and you can just generate your passcodes or multiple passcodes here, and you can specify for how long this passcode will be valid and how many users can use this passcode. So for example, if it's a family who is staying in a hotel and they've got 3 devices or 3 users, you can do that. You can generate that passcode or generate and print it straight away. and it works really well. So these are the passcodes. So obviously you would need to run your access point with a guest node and with a captive portal where it will be asking for a passcode. So this is, as you can see, this is a quick overview of Nuclias Connect solution. You can see that it has a very user-friendly interface. Adding and configuring devices takes just moments. You can quickly deploy them using the wizard that I showed you, and you also have access to all the advanced features if you need them. So it is a great solution to centrally monitor your devices on your local network or even on remote networks. So I'll pass. I hope that covers everything that you wanted to hear. But again, if you've got any questions, happy to answer them in the Q&A session. So let me switch to Phil. All right, sorry, Phil, you're on mute. Yeah.
Yep. Thanks, Ilya. Excellent demonstration as usual. I think we can all agree that there's certainly a very powerful tool that we've got available in Nuclias Connect. Something that's free to download. So please do go and have a look at that. Please get your questions. Keep them coming through in the Q&A box. We'll be getting to them very soon. Okay.
Sorry, Phil. Maybe worth mentioning that we have training available online on Nuclias Connect.
Yep, that's all coming up now.
Okay,
we're on the same page. So, what happens next? What are the next steps for you that have been here today, watching this this webinar, wanting to get your Nuclias Connect journey started? So we do have a wide range of training courses available at D-Link, and here's a table over on the right-hand side of all the courses which are available. So we have been up until COVID, we have been operating DCNP courses, our D-Link Certified Network Professional courses, which are full-day courses done in a classroom session, 50-50 theory and hands-on, with an exam at the end of that. Those we haven't been running this year due to COVID. But there are some online courses which are available. We're pleased to announce the D-Link Nuclias Connect Expert, which has just gone up online just in the last week. So you can go and get, if you do not have a D-Link training account, go and get yourself registered at training.dlink.com.au or .co.nz. Go and get yourself registered for that. There's no cost to sign up for a training account. And for people that have attended today, and for any of our partners, there's no cost to completing any of that training as well. So there's some details there about the online course as to what you can do, and there'll be some of the content like that video that's been there that you saw about the app. That's part of the video training. Some great learnings to be had from that course. That's all been compiled and put together by Ilya. You can see here the coupon code D-Link Cert 2020 is the coupon code to get that course there at no charge. So please do go and get yourself booked into that course. While you're doing that, might be worthwhile having a look at some of the other courses that we run. If you are interested in Nuclias Cloud, our fully hosted cloud solution, which does have switches, and later this year we'll see a router go into that product as well, is to go and complete the D-Link, the DCNA, the D-Link Nuclias Cloud Administrator course. So that's certainly something that would be available to you as well. And for some great networking refresher is the DNDA course, the D-Link Network Design Associate. It's around about 3 hours of self-paced video. So if you can't do that all in one go, you can come back to that over as long as you need to do that. And of course, there's an exam at the end of each of those courses as well. So take a snapshot there of that image there, or that will be going out to you in a post-webinar email. You'll be getting details of that course as well. So for those of you that are here that are IT resellers, please make sure that you are signed up as a D-Link Rewards partner. Some great reasons to do that. So some upfront discounts on our range of business networking products. There's some quarterly incentives for meeting your target, rewarded with a gift card, access to our priority technical support program, and there's some bonus offers as well. We are running some additional incentives this quarter as well. There's an Amazon Echo 8 that's being offered out as a prize or a reward for achieving your individual target. Again, please get in contact with your account manager to learn details of that. There'll be a number of people on here that have got themselves D-Link branded fridges and coffee machines that we've been running over the last 2 quarters as well. So go and get signed up to that program. There's no cost to that. dlink.com.au/rewards or .co.nz/rewards as well. And of course, when you're buying D-Link product, there's a range of distributors that you can purchase from. Crossing both Australia and New Zealand, a product is available through Ingram Micro and through Synex. In just Australia only, we've got product available through Blue Chip Infotech, Edsys, Hills, Multimedia Technology, and Pacific Datacom. So hopefully, if you're not yet a partner, you're trading with one of those distributors, and you're able to get access to D-Link product through one of those ways. So I did mention at the top of the webinar, there is an exclusive offer that we are running for people that have attended today. So at the conclusion of your survey, you'll be sent a coupon code where you can go and redeem and order these products at a massive 50% off. So we've got the Nuclias Connect Hub coming in at a price to you of $175. That is including GST. That price is the same whether it's in Australian or in New Zealand dollars. The DAP 2610, the Wave 2 access point at $150, and the 2620 at $175. That's the wall plate access point. So some really great deals there. So as a little thank you from us to you, great way for you to go and get hands-on with the Nuclias Connect software, with our hub, giving you some good discounted pricing on these products as well. So yeah, you'll be sent a promo code at the conclusion of you completing the survey. So survey should take roughly about 2 minutes to complete. So what we might do is there's a number of questions that are coming through. I'll just leave on this page here, just while we get to those questions. You're welcome to take a screenshot or a photograph of that, or to write down your local D-Link contact there in the D-Link for Business team across Australia and New Zealand. My name's Phil Tarbox, the sales manager for Australia. You've got my email address and mobile phone there if you'd like to make contact with me. We do have channel managers across the region. Starting up in Queensland and Northern Territory is Bernie Reisenberger, who's 12 years young with D-Link, has been here for just a little while. So Bernie does a great job. I'm sure if you're up in that part of the country, you would know or have heard of Bernie. In New South Wales and ACT, we've got Michael Crocombe, that's part of our team. He does a great job as a SMB IT professionals valued contributor, has been awarded, has been given that recognition over the last 2.5 years. He's a very, very valuable member of our team, as is Colin Chamberlain, based down in Melbourne, who looks after Victoria, Tasmania, South Australia and WA. Lots of territory to cover. Colin's been with D-Link over 15 years, longer than I think he'd be willing to own up to. Again, a very valuable member of our team and very active out in the IT reseller community. We've also got pre-sales engineers across Australia to support those 3 account managers, David Abano, who's based in Sydney, and Aaron Bilton, who's based in Melbourne. A number of you might have joined us last week for part 1 in our 3-part series on D-Link switching technology. and going into some of the other technical parts of that. Aaron hosted that last week. Next week, next Thursday, at the same time as today's webinar, David Urbano will be hosting a webinar going in with a bit of a deep dive on VLANs. So VLANs are certainly very fundamental to the way that networks are now designed and managed. So that may be something that you might be interested in. Please do get in contact with us if you'd like to receive an invitation to that webinar. Over across in New Zealand is Paul Batchelor, who's joined our team at right at the end of last year. It's great to have some local representation on the ground in New Zealand. So Paul is, of course, a very well-known person in that industry as well. It's great to have Paul on board too. Okay, so Ilya, if you're ready, we might take some questions.
Yes.
So, okay, I've got a question here from Shaquille. Now, actually, Shaquille, a quick question here for you, if you're still on. And Ilya, this question might apply both for Nuclias Cloud and Nuclias Connect. But Shaquille's question is there any port that needs to be opened on the firewall for the Nuclias Cloud option? I guess, can we answer that with regards to Nuclias Connect as well?
For Nuclias Cloud, no, you don't need to open any ports, so that will work by itself. It uses SSL, obviously, communication, and or HTTPS, sorry, to communicate with the server. So it's outgoing traffic for you on your local network, but all your devices, they communicate with the cloud on their own. It is outgoing traffic, so it doesn't need to be, there's no requirement opening any ports for incoming traffic.
Okay, Shaquille, hopefully that answers your question. Another question here is any idea on the cost of the cloud for the Nuclias option? Can we manage all networks for different networks from the same portal? So yes, indeed, there is a cost for Nuclias Cloud. So we're offering that in Australia and New Zealand. Apologies for people outside of Australia. I can really only talk in Australian dollars. So the RRP for the monthly management of that is $19.95 per month per device to be managed. Of course, for a reseller, there is a pretty good, there is a discount in there for you to buy that. So Shaquille, we might make contact with you with regards to that. Ilya, you might like to answer the second part of that question. Can we manage all networks for different networks from the same portal?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the idea behind the Nuclias Cloud solution. So it offers multi-tenancy and it offers a solution specifically for MSPs where they have multiple clients and multiple networks, and they can all be seen on the portal, and you can manage them separately. And give access even to your customers if they want to have a look at their network, only to their network, so to look at their status. So yes, it is designed to manage multiple networks.
Great, thanks, Ilya. Now, Jeff did have his hand raised a little bit earlier. So Jeff, I'm not sure if you're able to pop your question into the question box, and we'll get to your question if you indeed do have a question or a comment. Please pop those details in there. Okay, question here from Lachlan for Ilya. How does the auto power and auto channel work? Will there be an option to override this?
Yeah, certainly. So automatic power and channel selection. So in the Nuclias Connect server, you select the interval at which the access points will be triggered to look for the best possible channel number, and also check the surroundings, neighboring APs, or what's happening there, and either increase or decrease their power. These can obviously be overridden. You don't have to enable that option, and even if you have say automatic channel selection individually for some access points, you can set them to a specific channel if you want to, and specific power. So so that will obviously override the automatic adjustment. Okay,
Lachlan, hopefully that answers your question there. I think Aaron if I think Aaron will certainly be able to answer any questions for you as well. Oh, another question here from Lachlan. Ilya, is there an option to be able to see the client's connected access point's MAC address and location from the monitor section for troubleshooting?
Yes. When you look at the at your client, so you can see obviously the MAC address of the client, their IP address, signal strength, etc., etc., and you can see which particular network that client is connected to, and yeah, so you can see all that information there. You can even do a search. So if you've got a lot of clients there, there's an option there to search for a MAC address, and it will show you where this client is. It won't show you as GPS location, but it will show you on which network that client is connected to.
Great, thank you, Ilya. Good question here from Felix. I have Nuclias Connect on a server at a client. Thank you for that, Felix. How do I manage that server from outside of the client side?
So if there is a Nuclias Connect server running on the network, so obviously it is, you would need to open a port in your firewall. So depending on which port your Nuclias Connect server is running on, so that's the one that you open to communicate with it. So the demo that I showed you, that's the Nuclias Connect server sitting in our office, running in our office, and I'm here at home, so I can still log into it remotely. I just opened the port in the firewall to get access to it. So you basically need access just to the web interface of the portal.
Which port is that using, Ilya, or any?
Oh, well, in my case, I'm using 3001 or something like that. But yeah, it's your choice. You can choose whichever port you want. But it is say HTTPS, so it's 443. So if you're running on default.
Okay. There's another question here from Felix we might go to as well. On that same network, I've got 4 access points that I've set up with WPA, but I can't connect to them. I went to make the network open. I can't connect to that Wi-Fi network. Is there a guide that has sample configurations? Might be a question for one of our team to come back to you, Felix, on in terms of helping you out with some configuration. If you could perhaps in the chat here just pop an email address or a phone number, and we'll make sure one of our engineers gives you a phone call. Unless there's anything else you'd like to add to that, Leah.
No, yeah, it's probably, I'm not sure what the issue is. Obviously, there could be multiple reasons why this is not working, but yeah, it's better if one of our engineers has a look at your network and help you out. Yeah, we can slowly figure it out.
Okay, great. So pop your details in there, and we will we'll get in touch with you straight after this webinar. Another question here from Lachlan. Can we have the statistics on the dashboard and usage update any quicker?
It is, yeah. There is obviously some not straight away. So there is a delay in what you see on the portal. I'm not sure if it is possible to increase it, but I'll certainly talk to our developers just to see if there is a way, maybe make it adjustable for individually. So if someone wants to refresh every 5 seconds or every 5 minutes or so, that's a good point. Yes, I remember someone mentioned that before as well.
Okay, we'll come back to you on that one. Lachlan. Okay. So a question here from Adrian. Can the portal be white labeled for resellers?
I'm not sure what white labeled means.
So I'm imagining that means, can it be branded as a
I see.
a portal, as in, you know, if Adrian was from, I don't know, let's say it was
understood.
AKIT, for instance, that it mentioned dealing Nuclias and only mentioned AKIT.
All right. No, unfortunately, at least at this stage, there is no option there to offer a customized branding. But it's a good point. I can actually bring this up with our developers, and we can discuss that if it is possible.
Okie dokie. All right. So Lachlan's asked a question, when can we purchase a DNH100 through MMT? So Lachlan, we are expecting stock in this week. I've just gone and checked our current stock. So they are due this week. Hopefully with any luck, they'll be available through our network of distributors early to the middle of next week, but I'll perhaps come back to you with a firm ETA on that one. So Raymond asked a question here: do we need to pay any ongoing subscription for a Nuclias cloud access point? Yes, for a Nuclias cloud access point, there is an ongoing subscription for that. You do only pay when the device is being used within a calendar month. So if the device is not connected or not being used, you won't be billed for it. So it's only it's a billed on consumption, which is certainly a real differentiator that D-Link offer versus a number of our competitors, where you're having to prepay for 1, 3, 5, or 10 years of subscription, and whether that device is being used or not, you've gone and paid for it. So at D-Link, we're doing things a little bit different there in a slightly fairer way. For Nuclias Connect, there is no ongoing subscription, but there is, of course, the server hardware, the software, and or the hub that you need to manage and to maintain yourself. Ilya, is there anything you'd like to add?
No, I just mentioned that the software itself is free to download, so it doesn't require any licensing.
But a Nuclias Connect, yes, it's free.
Yes, Nuclias Connect is free, yes.
Yeah. Okay, Jeff asked a question. Recommend a server specification to run Nuclias Connect.
There is some specifications in the data sheet, but I can tell you that it doesn't require much power. So as soon as you can run a relatively simple website and relatively simple database engine on it, it will handle it just fine. So I know that the computer we're running it on, it is not the latest generation and not even the previous generation, probably 4 generations back, and it's still working fine, as you've seen, handling it well.
Okay, terrific. That's good to know that it's somewhat a light solution there.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, excellent. All right. I think that is the last of our questions this morning. If there's no further questions from Ilya and I, a very big thank you. Thank you for joining in this morning. It's great to have so many people attend. Thanks for your interest in Nuclias Connect. Please get in touch with your local, whether in Australia or New Zealand, your local D-Link account manager, and work with us to find out as to how we can help you to be able to offer you a solution that's going to help out your customer in the best possible way as well. We bid you a very good morning or good afternoon as to wherever you happen to be. Thank you so much.
Thank you.